My name is Tim Wallace. I am with the Connect team at Northaven Church. We are interviewing different people in the church, and today I am talking with the Office Administrator of Northaven, Mindy Dague. Hi, Mindy.
Hi, Tim. How are you?
I'm doing well today. Will you tell us what you do and how you came to Northaven?
Well, I am the office administrator, and my work is really interwoven within the fabric of Northaven, and I provide support to the staff, to the co-op school, and to the congregation. My job is so broad that I learn something literally new every single day, which keeps it really interesting and exciting for me.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Yeah. My core responsibilities are handling payroll and financial transactions with the oversight of the finance team. And I schedule and coordinate the HVAC. I also work with office volunteers and oversee the building needs and the support of the custodial staff. And I run statistical reports from our membership database, which is called Realm, and I work with outside rental groups, and I really am like the central hub of communication to keep the office running smoothly. How I came to Northaven was Northaven, it really had everything I was looking for in a job and in a church. And I was attracted to the importance of social justice. The congregation is so passionate and actively involved with the community, whether it's LGBTQ issues, immigration issues, and most recently the Black Lives Matter protest. And that was just really appealing to me when I came, and I realized how involved Northaven was. I grew up like in a very conservative family, and I was considered the free spirit, or AKA the liberal. And so when I came to Northaven, it just really ticked off all the boxes for me. It was just a perfect fit.
That's great. It's great. It's nice to find something that really fits and works well. How long have you been there?
It is, well, about 12 and a half years.
Wow. That's great.
It's the longest I've ever been at one place.
Wow. That's excellent. That's excellent. Well, Mindy, what are some of your happiest moments? What is something that really stands out for you?
Well, besides the birth of my child, of course, that has to be number one.
Yes.
My son Spencer. But other than that, I would say I took a road trip to Yellowstone, and my first husband actually worked for Thai Airlines, and I flew all over the world, and yet my favorite experience is a road trip to Yellowstone. It was like visiting another world. It was God's beauty. I was just in complete awe. It was like being on a foreign planet. I mean, it was amazing. I just would highly recommend everyone to go to Yellowstone at least once.
That's excellent. That's a good memory, something to hold on to there. What are you most grateful for in your life, Mindy?
I'm really grateful for my parents. I had great parents, and they were very supportive of me to be who I was, and the unique person and individual that I am. And they also taught me to respect others and to have a desire to serve the community.
Wow. That's great. What are you passionate about?
I'm really passionate about writing, and we found my grandfather's World War I journal and with other documents, and I spent about a year working on putting together a book, a self-published book. Wendy Campbell helped me along with the graphic designer, and it was challenging, but it was, oh my gosh, so rewarding. And I contacted the Smithsonian Institute of American History, and they accepted my book and the journal and some of the other paper documents that I had from World War I. And so I'm really proud of that.
That's wonderful. I never knew that, Mindy. That's excellent.
Yeah, I have the book right here. Do you want to see it?
Yeah,
I can show you the
for
cover. This is the.
Wow.
So
that's wonderful.
So it's that's kind of what his journal looked like. I don't know if you see it. So we just took, we scanned the pictures of the journal of the actual size, and then below it, it gave what it said, because it was kind of hard to read it. He wrote very small and in cursive. But it was an amazing find, and I was just really wanted to share it with the world and with the community instead of just one family member having that book or that journal. So I have a couple other writing projects I'm working on. So
that must have been a real growth thing for you to go through all that and put that all together.
It was. I mean, I even had Facebook involved. I was going on Facebook when I couldn't read something, and everybody would chip in their opinion, and we would come to a collaborative, vote on what it said, and that's what I went with. So it may not be perfect, but it's as good as I could do. So.
Wow, it was good enough for the Smithsonian. That's wonderful. I didn't realize you had a piece in the Smithsonian. That's wonderful.
Yeah, I actually do. So.
So besides that, Mindy, how do you want to be remembered?
I want to be remembered. I live every day like it could be my last day. And so I don't want to have any regrets. And I want to be known as someone who had integrity, who cared about others, and never backed down from a challenge. I love challenges. And that I served my community and my family well and to the best I could.
That's wonderful. Well, we talked about your passion in writing. Now, what else brings you joy? What is something that just makes you light up?
There's a few things. Really the small things in life is what I found. I used to be very achievement oriented, and then I got first stage breast cancer, and I'm a survivor of that. And I realized that the best things in life are not won or bought. So one of the favorite things that I do is watch the wildlife from my bedroom window, and I just love nature, and that doesn't cost anything. And it's just the value is priceless. And I also love to cook. It brings me joy, and writing is my creative outlet as well. So.
Wow, that's great. And I like that, the joy of God's creation. It is free. It's for us all to enjoy, and you obviously take really good advantage of that. So in that vein, what about your spiritual journey? Talk about that and describe it for us.
I've had a really varied past. I was raised Presbyterian, and then as a youth, I attended the United Methodist Church, had a wonderful youth program in Richardson. And as an adult, I mentioned earlier that my first husband was from Thailand, and he was actually Buddhist, and he attended, his whole family, his siblings attended a boarding school in Thailand that was run by the Catholic Church, and he was taught by nuns. But he was Buddhist, and so I learned about Buddhism, but I remained, Methodist. And I also ventured out to the Unitarian Universalist Church, a couple of them, but it just wasn't really a good fit for me. And then when I remarried for the second time, my husband was Roman Catholic, so I actually learned about their theology, and it just Methodist is really it's you know, in align with my belief system. And so despite everything I learned about Catholicism, I remained Methodist. And so so I think I'm at a good place spiritually, and I'm very open-minded, and I do believe that there's more than one path to God. So
Is there a story or scripture passage in the Bible that really inspires you or is important to you?
I was thinking about that, and there's really not, you know, one particular passage or scripture. I was raised in Sunday school and learned all the Bible stories, and have read parts of the Bible, but I think it was more about the impact of being raised as a Christian and living my life as a Christian. And I had this epiphany when I was only 8 years old, and I went out on the sidewalk in front of my house, and I was sitting down writing a poem, and all of a sudden I just like had this spiritual conversation with God and said, you know what, I want my life's purpose to be to serve and to help others, and that's what I'm going to intend on doing. And that really led me down the path of working for nonprofits and always being in a job that helped me to help others.
Wow. That's excellent. Well, so with all that in mind, how did your life turn out any different than what you had imagined that it would?
Well, everything I've done in my life has kind of built up. I kind of think of it in terms of a ladder. And like everything I've learned, if I learn something new, I apply it to my life. And it's kind of like moving step by step by step until I got to Northaven. And I feel like it's just kind of the ultimate, you know, thing to put everything I knew into practice. And so I kind of just go with the flow and the rhythm of life. And I consider myself a survivor in many ways. And everything has been intuitively driven. I'm very intuitive, and I put God in the driver's seat, and I just have extreme faith, and it's worked out well for me so far. So
It just seems to me like the steps are just kind of laid out for you kind of easily. That's kind of my impression.
Yeah, it just, you know, I've had an interesting life. I've, you know, seen a lot, done a lot, and I feel like sometimes I've lived 2 lifetimes at least. And so now it's kind of a time just to relax and enjoy my life. And, you know, I have things on my to-do list and things to keep me going. And COVID is a time that you know, the opportunity to write more. So that's what I'm trying to do.
Excellent. That's great. That's great. So Mindy, we've kind of come to the end of our time, but what else would you like to leave us with? What would you like to say to the people who are looking at this and getting to know Mindy Dague? What else is there for us?
You know, just have faith, believe in yourself, and set goals, because if you don't think it's going to be hard for it to happen. I mean, it's the first step is having an idea, and then going from there, and just enjoy life. Enjoy every day like it's your last day.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, that's great. Thank you so much for visiting with us, Mindy. We really appreciate it, getting to know you better and know some things that we didn't know about you before. So thank you very much, and we will talk to you soon.
Okay, thank you, Tim.